Hey, we're Manchester Orchestra, and you're watching 101.9 KINK Radio in the live studio.
That song, "The Gold" from a black mile to the surface, is written from a woman's point of view to her husband. And that part when you start singing on the CD, I believe, it sounds, to me, I'm interpreting it as kind of screaming out in anguish towards her husband.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had moments like that. That's why, you know.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that song it's a paralleled story, I guess. In a lot of ways, it's about a woman from the 1920s who has a husband who continually goes down to this gold mine every day in South Dakota. And the conditions that he's working in are terrible, and his health is getting worse, and the family can tell when he gets back from the mine that a part of him is missing and that it's kind of been left down there. I sort of thought there was a darkish parallel to when I leave my family and go on tour and kind of enter this insane lifestyle that isn't normal for what it is when I'm back home. And when I come back, sort of my fear that I've left a little bit of me in the mine, you know.
Oh, now it gives a whole new meaning. That's good. So A Black Mile to the Surface, a lot of it is a concept type album. It's your 5th full-length album. And did you go into it kind of with that anticipation that you would write about this small town in South Dakota, which a lot of the songs are about, or did you just kind of stumble upon that?
Yeah, it was a little bit of an idiot savant thing for sure. I didn't know what it was going to turn into when I started kind of creeping around in some Wikipedia pages of South Dakota, and then ended up turning into like full-blown research of all this crazy stuff. You know, my life is a lot slower and less frantic and as it was when I was first starting this band and things were starting to happen for us, and I was on the road for so many days a year. And I think for me, in order for me to get to a place where I could write something that was inspiring for me, or a subject matter that was inspiring for me, I had to dig into some other places and find some inspiration in other places in order for that, to tie myself into that storyline as well, and sort of the concepts that I was dealing with. Because in general, it's like I don't think an album just about how happy I am playing with my daughter every day makes for very interesting music. And there's still some of that on the album for sure. But yeah, I needed to find something deeper to hold on to that was motivating me.
Well, there are a lot of deep songs on this album. 2 of them in particular, The Alien and The Grocery. I've been poring over the lyrics, and the lyrics are... These 2 songs particularly are full of anguish and hopelessness and helplessness. I mean, and I do mean that in a compliment, as a compliment, because they really draw you in. I mean, they're telling a story and they're drawing you in. I mean, did you find that in Wikipedia too?
I wrote both of those songs in like the most beautiful place in the world on the North Shore of Hawaii. I took my wife there for her 30th birthday. We had never been on a vacation together since we'd been married for like 10 years because I've been on tour for so long. So she was turning 30 and I thought, let's go do it. And I brought my guitar. And of course, yeah, while she was out like enjoying the beach, I was in there writing like 2 of the saddest songs I'd ever written before. But yeah, I don't know. The Alien's sort of one of those songs, we're going to play that next actually, where I started writing the story of that song, and as the song was evolving, as I was writing it, the ending and the middle sections, and it all sort of started to become clear to me how I could write this full narrative. It was definitely like an aha type of moment. But yeah, you know, I feel like it's interesting with musicians, if stuff's really sorrowful and it seems hopeless and stuff like that, I think we get a worse rap than like film directors who make really sad movies. You know, I think I sort of look at songs and albums like movies, and yeah, sometimes the really dark stuff is the most interesting.
Well, please tell me you were also on your vacation when you wrote the one about your wife. Is it called the Parks? That's a beautiful one.
That was the first night we got there. I wrote that song for her. Yep.
So you're on your tour, and you've been in Tampa. You were there right before Irma,
yep.
And then you were in Houston right after Harvey.
Correct.
Well, what was that like?
Well, 2 very different feelings. The Tampa show had a bit of a end of the world, let's party, and you know, we can't control what's about to happen for us, so let's try and have one more good night, which is really dark and but also lovely and felt celebratory. Then Houston was really...
you could tell that they were picking up the pieces, and they were like, we're going to go out and try and enjoy something because so much around us right now is just
chaos.
Crumbling.
Yeah. So two very different but very uplifting shows too. We felt grateful. We were able to do a T-shirt to benefit the people in Houston, to the Houston Food Bank, and Texas bought all of the shirts, and it was awesome, and we raised a ton of money for that, and it felt, in spite of all of the darkness around it, like it was a really good thing that we were able to go and play and perform, and people seemed really happy we were there.
Oh, I bet they were. And I was going to plug those T-shirts, even though you don't have any more left. It was really neat. They designed these T-shirts, and then the money went to the Houston Food Bank, which was pretty cool. So you are at the Crystal Ballroom tonight with a Black Mile to the Surface. You're going to play us some more songs?
Yes.
Awesome. I'm so excited. Thanks so much for being here in our live studio
you.
today.
We appreciate
All right, Manchester Orchestra, everybody.